How about, yes sir, right here. Give him a hand. The white t-shirt.
Hi there. One question.
What's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Juan Carlos Fernandez. I am from Venezuela, from Caracas.
Give me a hand.
Woo! A bit of a commercial where Eye of the Tiger. This is our group. We have really good cause. As of today, we've raised more than $22,000 in a matter of 2 days.
That's awesome.
We're taking 40 kids to the Youth Global Summit from
and I'll match that with you as well.
Yes,
sure.
We're gladiators.
You got it. Who's your question for?
Yes, I'm in the service industry. I work for Open Insurances. Is our startup. It's travel insurance company, broker insurance company. We're gonna go global. We started in Latin America and in the U.S. And what we're doing is trying to change the paradigm that brokers have, that you have to do everything in paper, or you have to go through complicated things and applications and stuff. So we reduce the whole thing to a really smart, easy, quick and easy process for issuing the policy and then the claims. My question to you in Venmo and Airbnb is that, well, with Airbnb we could do something together for the travel insurance of your trips. We'd love to do that. And how about, we're struggling with the growth. We already have 300 agents enrolled, and we're going to bring about people from any side in the world and start with a plan B, working extra hours like our friend from Glossier, and then convert that plan B into a plan A. So that's more or less what we do. We tell ourselves that we're the Google of insurance companies, of travel insurance companies. So that's my question.
So your question is, how do you're stuck at a certain level of acquisition of these travel agents? 300?
Yeah, travel agents and brokers, insurance agents, anyone who wants to do a second job. Yeah, okay. Escape from the 9 to 5, that 4-hour work week from Timothy Ferris, something like that.
So are you taking people already in the industry and providing a more effective way, or are you bringing people into the industry?
Bringing already insurance agents, okay, and people with no insurance background.
Okay. Who wants to talk it?
Well, one of the things I learned from listening to Joe is that you outlined your goals at one point. You printed the graph of the future, and it was everywhere you looked. So have you done that? Where you've sat with your team and you said, this is where we want to be 6 months from now. We want to go from 300 to, if I asked you now, where do you want to go from now to the next 6 months?
Our goal is 5,000 agents in 3 years, and
okay,
growing to that exponentially to 20,000. 500,000. We don't know.
Okay, so that's good. So you have 5,000 in 3 years. Now let's take a step back. So, how many in a year and a half?
1,500.
Good math.
Okay. Great. So then in 6 months?
700.
Okay. So now we have a clear goal that you have to rally your entire team around. And what I learned and we did this at Venmo too. One day I came into the office, and it was me and Cortina and 3 other engineers, and we said, man, we're only getting 10 invites a day, and we're stagnant here. We're just 10 invites, 10 invites, 10 invites, 10 invites. And we didn't necessarily know what the solution was, but what we said was, no matter what, in 3 months from now, we need to be getting 1,000 invites a day. And then every morning the conversation was like, what are we doing to increase the amount of invites? And we did the exact same thing you did. You walk into the office, you see the number of invites, and everyone is able to answer the number of invites that went out, and eventually we hit it. So, I would start by saying, in 6 months, we're going to have 600 new agents, and the conversations that takes place at the company is you rallying the entire team around what's working and what's not all the time.
It's about having the obsession so crystal clear. Remember we talked earlier this week, you're not a manager of circumstances, you're a creator. and you've got to teach everyone in your team, but it's got to start with yourself that this is what will be done. I always call it the tyranny of how. Most people are trying to figure out the how, and they don't begin because they don't know how, so they miss the certainty. So any great athlete, any great entrepreneur, one of the great powers you see up here is this internal certainty that says, I may not know how, but I'm going to find an effing way. Right. And it's that capacity to say, this is what we will do, specifically, declaring it, owning it, and then having a strong enough effing why that you together move mountains, and everyone knows it's not a should here, it's a must. I think that's the difference. I hear in your voice some shoulds. I don't hear the ownership that says, this is what we're going to do come hell or high water, even in the asking of the question. You'll ask better questions when you own it completely what the outcome is. But most people are more focused on the activity than the outcome, and you can mistake movement for achievement all day long, and you'll be very frustrated. If you become obsessed with the outcome, you'll cut through all the bullshit, and if not you, by having your team know it, you'll find the ways to hit it that no one else finds. The only way anyone becomes an entrepreneur like the men and women in front of this room is if they decide this is what will be, and then they find a way. Now, they may have to iterate and so forth, but they start with that with a level of conviction that nothing will move them. Go watch Churchill, the movie that came out, when everybody's freaking out and countries are falling right and left, and everyone in that administration, including the king, says, I'm going to Canada, we're getting the hell out of here, and one stubborn son of a bitch says, never! We will never, ever, ever, right, give up. And he rallied the people. He rallied the entire country. He went around the politicians. He got the people in the street to say, we will fight in the streets. We will fight to the death. Because country cultures, where they just give up, never come back. But if you look at history, the cultures where they fought to the end, they almost always come back because the DNA of that culture is still alive. He understood that one thing. He was able to instill that. Your job as a leader is instill it, attract it, pull it, attract the right people if you got the wrong ones. It's like you might have too many. You might have too many people, even though you have too many people that don't know you're going to make it. If you got a bunch of people that know you're going to make it, you're going to have a hard time. So every one of these men and women, the reason I respect them so much, if you listen to them, they effing decided, and then they made it happen. They shaped it, they created, they adjusted their approach, they kept going, but they never lost sight of the outcome of what mattered most. And they attracted the people to help them, or they got rid of them and moved on. Is that fair representation? Yeah. Right, that's what you got to do. Yeah. Give them a hand.
Yes.